All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready to get our hands dirty with another deep dive. Today, we're tackling construction projects.
Really exciting stuff.
Yeah, you know those projects that start with a blueprint and end with, well, hopefully something amazing.
Hopefully, yeah.
And we've got a fantastic guide to help us navigate this world.
Absolutely. We're diving into an article by Owen Hager called 10 Tips for a Successful and Profitable Construction Project. You put this up on LinkedIn.
10 tips for a successful and profitable construction project. Very nice and concise. So he's got 10 tips for us, and he gets right to the point. I like that.
Yeah, no fluff.
Cash flow, contracts, dealing with those unexpected changes, all things that can really make or break a project. So let's jump right in. Owen doesn't waste any time. He comes out swinging with cash is king, communication is queen. So catchy, right? But what makes these two factors so critical in construction, more so than in other industries, perhaps?
But construction's got its own rhythm when it comes to money. Unlike some other businesses where the cash is flowing in and out a bit more predictably, construction relies on these staggered payments. You complete a milestone, you get paid.
Yeah.
So you can imagine cash flow management is everything.
Yeah, you've got to be on top of it, or things could get a little tight.
Exactly. Especially if there are any hiccups along the way.
And I imagine hiccups are almost inevitable in construction, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mother Nature has her own plan sometimes.
Right.
Material deliveries can get delayed. Sometimes you uncover something unexpected during the excavation. These things happen.
You find a dinosaur bone or something.
Exactly. Exactly. You never know. And that's where communication comes in. The queen, right? You've got to keep everyone in the loop. Clients, subcontractors, your team. Everyone needs to be on the same page when those inevitable delays or changes pop up.
So communication is like the ultimate problem solver, or at least the way to keep those problems from turning into disasters.
100%.
And it's not just about like keeping everyone informed day to day, right? It's about having those solid contracts in place from the get-go, which Owen, he talks about that a lot.
Oh, yeah. He stresses that big time.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
Because that's the foundation.
Right. Contracts, there's everything. They're the Bible for your project.
Yeah.
And it's not enough to just skim through them. You really got to understand every single detail.
Yeah, I'm guilty of, those terms and conditions online. Just click, click.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there.
Not with a construction contract, though. That's a whole other ballgame.
No way. You got to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Payment schedules, scope of work, what happens if things go wrong.
Yeah.
It's all got to be crystal clear. Otherwise,
You're asking for trouble.
big time. Disputes, delays, costs blowing up. Nobody wants that.
And especially in the UK, you've got those JCT contracts. Are there any common traps people fall into with those?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
One of the big ones is people get so hung up on the big numbers, the price, the completion date, that they kind of gloss over the finer points.
Details.
Yeah, those clauses about liability, insurance, dispute resolution, they seem kind of minor, but those things can really come back and bite you. It's like, booking a flight and just assuming your travel insurance covers everything, but then boom, volcano erupts, flight's canceled, and you're stuck.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, and it's the same with contracts. You gotta know what you're signing.
Speaking of things going wrong, even with the best contract, there are always going to be those unexpected things that pop up, right? Owen calls them variations.
Right, variations, yeah. And those can be tricky.
Because you've already got your plan, you've got your budget. How do you roll with those punches without derailing the whole project?
Well, Owen's got a good way of putting it. He says you got to treat each variation like it's its own mini project.
So it's almost like hitting the pause button for a second, taking a step back and reassessing okay, what needs to happen now?
Exactly. Document everything. What's the change? How's it going to impact the timeline, the budget?
Well,
Get everyone on board with a revised plan. You can't just tack it on and hope for the best.
and I'm guessing clear communication is key here again, right? Making sure everyone's on the same page.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Client, contractors, everybody needs to know what's going on, what's changed, why it's changed, and what it means for them.
So it's almost like a project within a project, like Owen was saying. And that actually brings us to another cluster of tips that he groups together, which I think makes a lot of sense. Scheduling, project management in general, communication, which we've touched on, and quality control. Now, these might seem kind of obvious, but why are they so essential for a project's bottom line?
Because they're all about efficiency. And efficiency, my friend, equals profitability.
Right, time is money.
Exactly. A good schedule keeps things moving, minimizes downtime. Good project management means you're on top of risks, resources are used wisely, and communication. We've already established that's like the holy grail.
It's the oil that keeps the machine running smoothly.
100%. And then you've got quality control. That's not just about making things look pretty. It's about catching mistakes early, avoiding costly rework later on.
And building that reputation, right? Like, this is a contractor who does things right.
Exactly. Word of mouth is huge in this
Okay.
business.
Right.
You want people to say, hey, these guys, they're good. They deliver on their promises.
Yeah.
That all comes from those core things. Scheduling, project management, communication, quality control.
And, it strikes me that these aren't even just construction-specific skills. Like, these are valuable in any field, really. Time management, clear expectations, attention to detail.
Oh, absolutely. Those are life skills, really.
Exactly. But Owen's showing us how they all come together in the construction world. Okay, so we've laid the groundwork. We've got our project management A-game on point. But what good is all of that if you don't have any clients to actually apply it to? And Owen, he dedicates a couple of his tips to the client-focused side of things, which is interesting. Finding new clients, building those relationships.
Right, because that's how you build a successful business.
It's not just about finishing one project. It's about, creating those long-term partnerships, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it all comes back to, you guessed it, communication. Keep those clients in the loop, manage expectations, address any concerns head on.
Don't leave them in the dark.
No way. Transparency is key.
And those happy clients, they become your best advocates.
They're your walk-in, talking testimonial.
Exactly. And they lead to referrals, and it just kind of snowballs from there. It's true. Happy clients are the best marketing. But it's not just about keeping them happy during the project, right? Owen also talks about the importance of KPIs, and this might make some people groan a little bit, record keeping.
Yeah. The business side of things.
It can seem a little dry.
It's not the most glamorous part, for sure. But honestly, this is where a lot of really talented builders, they miss a trick.
They just want to build the stuff.
Exactly. They're passionate about the craft,
Yeah.
which is amazing. But you got to have a business to support that passion, right?
It's got to make financial sense.
Exactly. And that's where those KPIs come in. Oh, and he's really big on this. Knowing your numbers. Profit margins, project completion rates, even those client satisfaction surveys like we talked about. Those aren't just vanity metrics.
Right.
They tell a story.
So you're not just finishing a project and moving on to the next one. You're taking that time to step back, analyze, okay, how did it go?
Exactly. What worked, what didn't work, where can we improve? That's how you refine your processes. That's how you boost those profit margins.
It's like fine-tuning a machine.
Exactly. And alongside those KPIs, you've got to have those records.
The dreaded paperwork.
I know. But trust me on this. Contracts, change orders, invoices, receipts, timesheets, safety reports, all of it. Keep it organized, keep it safe.
So you're prepared for anything.
Exactly. Think of it like an insurance policy. Hopefully you never have to use it. But if a dispute arises, you've got that backup.
You've got the proof.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can show what was agreed upon, what work was done, when, how. It protects you in the long run.
It's like having that peace of mind.
Exactly.
Well, I've got to say, this has been a fantastic deep dive into Owen Hager's 10 tips for a successful and profitable construction project. You've really given us a lot to think about.
It's a great article. A lot of practical advice in there.
It really is. And for our listeners, if you want to check out more from Owen, we'll be sure to include a link to his LinkedIn profile in the show notes. And hey, whether you're a seasoned contractor or just thinking about finally tackling that bathroom remodel, remember what we've learned today. With a little planning, a whole lot of communication, and maybe a healthy dose of spreadsheet love, you've got this.
Hear, hear.
Until next time, happy building, everyone.